We got this story. Alleged 911 call reports 32 armed Venezuelan street gang members invading Chicago apartment complex. Now, it's tough to track this story. It's hard to know what is or is not true, so I say this all with a grain of salt. I'm not familiar with Shore News Network. There's another website called Newsdrum. These are allegations. A video posted by Libs of TikTok from crimeisdown.com. It's a video of what they say is a 911 dispatch call. What I can say to this story is we have another video from a man allegedly from Chicago. I believe he likely is, saying, this ain't Colorado. We got switches. I just want to tell you. The big story in Colorado is that Venezuelan gangs are taking over buildings. Armed gangs are shaking people down for protection or protection money. They're going door to door and demanding cash from residents. They've taken it over. There's been reports beyond this one that in Chicago, similar things are happening. I want to give a friendly warning. Friendly warning. To all of these illegal immigrants in Chicago, you ain't seen nothing. Don't do it. This guy's not wrong. I'll play this video in a second, but please, please, for the love of all that is holy, you need to get the F out and don't do this. You see these videos in Aurora where they walk up to an apartment complex and bash the door open and are shaking people down with guns. That may fly in Aurora. But I tell you, man, they call Chicago Chirac for a reason. I know exactly what happens if you knock on someone's door with a gun. The bullets go through the door. I am not exaggerating. If these guys out there, these Venezuelans in Chicago, whatever your gang is, you be warned, man. Chicago is not Colorado. This guy knows what he's talking about. This guy is saying Venezuelans in Chicago. Okay, this is. I've been hearing stuff about this. The gangs in Chicago. I mean, they'll kill you for looking at them the wrong way. There are some gangs in Chicago that in order to join the gang, you got to kill someone for no reason at all. And the cops don't want to go in these areas. There are parts of Chicago where when you drive down the street, on each street corner, you've got 20 gangbangers armed, waving guns. Where I grew up, there were numerous shootings. Fight at my high school, guy pulls out a gun, okay? It's not fists. It's a guy, they say, let's go fight. And the guy pulls out a 2x4, the other guy pulls out a gun. Everyone runs screaming. These gangs, when they come to Chicago, they're going to learn what it means when they call Chicago Chirac. A lot of people are laughing about it. We don't need international gang violence. Gang violence is bad enough. Shore News says the alleged takeover in Chicago follows a similar incident in Aurora, Colorado, where a group of Venezuelan migrants reportedly seized control of a building. Although there is no video footage from the Chicago incident, the 9/11 audio has been verified by local authorities who confirmed that law enforcement responded to the situation. Details about any arrests or injuries have not yet been released. Chicago Police Department has not yet confirmed the incident. I'll play for you the video, and again, take it with a grain of salt, but I do believe that there is currently a preponderance of evidence to suggest this is happening, but I would not call it proof positive.
Unit 10-3, I'm City West, person with a gun, 6124 South King Drive. Caller says 32 Venezuelans are trespassing the building, showing guns in the courtyard, and they have motorcycles in the courtyard as well. All they're filled. Nothing further, zone clear.
So wow. 32 Venezuelans are trespassing the building. They have motorcycles. They're brandishing guns.
Hey, I'm sorry. Are you headed over to the shot putter or to the 6124 on King for the migrants?
On King Drive.
All right, 10-4. There's another available unit arrive at 310. We had multiple calls. Person with the gun, 6124 South King. Also came over to disturbance large gathering. Could be 32 Venezuelans trespassing in the building property, showing guns in the courtyard.
Wow.
They have motorcycles in the courtway, all stairwells filled, and nothing further.
I've been talking about defamation quite a bit in this live show for those that have just joined this segment. But I got to tell you, everything we are seeing in the news right now to this election, it's crazy. It's fascinating to me how we've had these political arguments for a long time about how this election truly is the most important. Gore v. Bush. I mean, I was like, 13, 14? I think I was 14 years old. I don't know what that means. People, it's the most important, and then the hanging chads and all that stuff. But why? Why was Bush v. Gore so important? I don't know what was really going on. I mean, Clinton was bad, I guess. And then Bush was bad. Got into wars. So when it came to McCain, Obama, I said Kerry, Bush. We got to get Bush out. Bush wins re-election. 9/11 did a lot to people. McCain v. Obama, supposed to be Hillary. Obama ends up winning. They say it's the most important election. But why? What was going on in 2008? Well, the Great Recession was brutal. But the Great Recession wasn't an existential crisis. I was a young man. I mean, I was working. I know it was bad. But people were just like, these things happen in America. We've had depressions before. The Great Recession isn't the worst economic state of this country. 2012, Obama, Romney, the most important election. They always say it. 2016, they claimed it. Trump wins. 2020, they say it. I think it was true. 2016 was an important election. At the time, it was the most. 2020 at the time was the most important election. It's only gotten worse. Today, I will say, for many reasons, this is the most important election of our lives. It may be the most important election in this country's history. I know, it's kind of crazy, right? We don't know what happens in 2025. We don't know what happens after November. But when you have armed street gangs, foreign individuals coming into this country, acquiring or bringing weapons, both are true, and they're taking over American territory and stealing money from Americans, we're nearly in a state of war. One political party is exacerbating this. This country can't survive this way. It just can't. Libs of TikTok post this video. Chicago resident. So I'm going to play this video for you guys for context, but I'm not sure if what the language is. So just so you know, there might be swearing.
To all Venezuelans in Chicago, this is the warning. If you ain't on no bullshit, stay neutral. Somebody please translate. Stay neutral. If you know somebody that's in your building on bullshit, don't let them run in that building, and don't let nobody see them run in that building. Because once word get out that that's the building that they in, they gonna chop that bitch down.
So this man on TikTok does say he is from Chicago.
Whatever building,
I think he's from Chicago.
Y'all occupying and all that shit. Yeah, you better get your food and just stay in the house, because they come out doing some bullshit. Y'all gonna regret that. You're gonna really regret that. So, I don't speak Spanish, so somebody need to translate. I hope they got TikTok that translate, I guess. They can kind of make me seem like I'm speaking Spanish. But anyway, take this like a grain of salt if you like. But this ain't Colorado. This ain't Utah. This ain't none of them places.
Not California.
This is just like where you from.
It's worse.
The only difference is y'all use a lot of handgun, old revolvers, and machetes and shit. We got switches.
Full auto pistols.
Switches. If you're not familiar with what a switch is, we will show you.
Holy crap.
We don't really be with all the telling and shit. But we will definitely show you what a switch is. So, again, somebody translate. Yeah. Make this known. This ain't like Colorado. I'm just saying.
There you go, man. So I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure switches refers to full auto pistols. Let me pull it up. But I'm pretty sure they're talking about, unless someone in the super chat wants to clarify, but I'm pretty sure that's what they call it. Let's see. Translate to Venezuelan. People saying I need a translation. LOL switches and AR pistols without sights. Yep. What is going on with this thing? Let's do this. I want to pull it up. That's why. Make sure I can give you the source for this. A small device attached to the rear of the slide of a Glock handgun. A Glock switch or auto sear, converting the semi-automatic pistol into a selective fire machine pistol capable of fully automatic. I've seen the videos out of Chicago, you know, where they've got the handgun and they got extended magazines and then they tape them together so they can flip them or whatever. Crazy, dude. Crazy. He's not wrong. Take a look at this from Nick's order. Just in. Masked gangs wielding AR-15 style rifles are invading Denver suburbs. No arrests have been made. Colorado has become absolutely lawless, and it's spreading across the country. Take a look at this video. I don't know if there's any sound. You can see individuals. This is nuts, man. They're breaking into someone's garage. They've got... Man, this guy's got a rifle. He's pointing it. What are they going to do? Someone's going to walk out. He's going to shoot him? Damn, this is crazy. They're stealing... I think they're stealing a motorcycle. Yep. Stealing a motorcycle. For those that are just listening, you've got a couple guys... hoodies, long guns. It looks like they might have AKs. He says it's AR-15 style. I'm not entirely sure. It's a grainy black and white video. You guys watching might be able to figure it out better. If you can see it, I'm not sure. AR-15 style. One guy looked like he's holding a handgun. One guy's got a long gun. Man, yeah, it might be like an AR-15. I'm not sure. Yeah, this is crazy. The big news, I guess... We'll jump to this from Daily Caller. Move them to documented. Pelosi appears to support amnesty for illegal immigrants. I don't know why they put appears to. She literally said it on Bill Maher.
The California lawmakers just passed a law. It hasn't been signed by Governor Newsom, but giving government assistance to undocumented immigrants to buy houses. Mm-hmm. That's kind of a different place than the Democratic Party used to be on immigration, is it not? I'm not going to say that's what the country's going to do, but that's certainly where California is.
Nuts.
Well, let me just say, immigration had always been a bipartisan issue. I refer you to
But not free houses.
Well, that's not free housing. It's the American dream being available to you.
But not to you, Gen Z.
Immigration. The best speech on immigration was by President Ronald Reagan. This is the last speech I will make as President of the United States. I want to communicate a message to the country I love. And he talked about the Statue of Liberty and the beacon of hope it is to the world, and what America was preeminent in the world because our door was always open, and we will cease to be preeminent when we shut the door. Now, I don't do justice to the great communicator. Google it. It's a fabulous speech. And George Herbert Walker Bush continued in that respect for the diversity of America and the rest. California's always in the lead. Maybe others will follow that lead, but that's up to those states. But we're very blessed here with beautiful diversity.
So you'd vote for this law?
Excuse me?
So you'd vote for this law?
Well, I'm not familiar with exactly what that is, but making the American dream of home ownership available to all people is something we have to do for people who are here now.
This is before you were a citizen. This is undocumented. This is for the undocumented.
Well, what I would like to do is move them to documented. The fact that we can move them to documented. One of the best things that we can do for our
undocumented
is to pass comprehensive immigration reform.
It's crazy. How does this country survive? I mean that seriously. You can go back and you can talk about gay marriage or whatever that nonsense. That never meant, I never cared. And the conservatives made good points. I didn't think they were wrong. I remember back during was it Proposition 8? Let me pull that up actually. Prop 8, the musical. You guys remember that? 2009. Let me play this old Funny or Die classic for you. Just a little bit of it. I'm not going to play the full thing. Funny or Die. You remember this one? This has got 1 million views. It's a brand new bright Obama day. What a time to be black, a girl, or gay. No, nothing could go wrong. So join us in this song of happy days for the gays. Nothing. Anyway, I'm not going to play the full thing, but then Christians show up. People listen to our plea. They'll teach kids about sodomy. School. Get out of my way. Get him. Very good. Yep. That wasn't right. That's a lie. Whoa! And that's where it gets funny. So here's why I bring this up. If you were able to catch whatever they were singing, I'll explain. In the beginning, they say it's a great Obama day to be black or whatever, to be gay. And then the Christian side says they'll teach kids about sodomy. And then they say, that's not right. That's a lie. Actually, that was exactly what happened. And it's exactly where we are now. And despite the fact that we have, I was on the side of the people saying like, yeah, you know, like, I don't know, whatever, civil unions, gay marriage, whatever you want to do. We are now at this point where when conservatives are making the argument that they're going to teach kids about these things and that it was a lie, they're doing this in schools. In fact, one of these books, I forgot what the book is called. I can never remember what it's called. What is it called? This Book is Gay, I think it's called. Let me make sure This Book is Gay. I think that's what the book is called. Yeah. In that book, it explains to children how to consume human bodily solid waste. Or not how to, but explains the function and definition for what these things are. Basically explaining why people do it. To put it mildly, that's not right. That's a lie. Well, they went well above and beyond all of that. I'd love to meet a handful of these people and ask them about how that was a lie back in 2009 when they were saying that. So I bring this up why? That issue isn't the biggest issue to me, to be completely honest. Look, we've got legal and cultural problems that have extended to where they are today, which is a much, much bigger problem. Gay marriage was not a big problem. Now that they're trying to put these books in schools, we got a really big problem. So again, when the conservatives on the musical were like, it's a lie, or I'm sorry, when they're saying they're going to teach kids about sodomy, and the other side said it's a lie, it turned out they were right. The issue of gay marriage, to me, it's whatever. Honestly, it's whatever. It's like, I don't care, man. But if now they're trying to put these books in schools, it's gone well above and beyond. So my point is this. When these political issues were happening, it wasn't the end of the country. It wasn't the end of the world. Giving amnesty to 15 to 20 million illegal immigrants that came into this country over the past several years, many of whom we can see are in criminal gangs, it's an existential crisis. It is an existential crisis. If we allow this to happen, this country cannot survive. Nancy Pelosi doesn't even know what she's talking about. Giving $150,000 to non-citizens, to illegal immigrants, to buy houses when Gen Z can't even get a job. Please show this video to Gen Z and be like, they're talking about giving money and houses to people who aren't even citizens of this country, and you pay taxes and you're in debt. Man, I don't know how this country survives this. We need a dramatic cultural shift in this country. Otherwise, the American dream is for everybody but you. There won't be an American dream. Not to mention what's going on with the escalations into potentially World War III, which will be the next segment that I get into. This really is the most important election of our lives. Maybe the most important election of this country. I'm going to say it again because a lot of people don't want to say it, or they don't want to admit it or whatever. The petrodollar's over. It's done. People don't understand what that means. U.S. control is about to collapse. Ask yourself why it is that we live so comfortably. No, the reality is people in America don't know they live comfortably. But you want to talk about depression? We're headed for one, serious depression. I believe that if the Democrats win, high probability World War III, or at the very least, massive international conflict, which results in a massive economic downturn. I believe that if Donald Trump wins, we still have a great chance of massive international conflict, even with Donald Trump. He's just the better option. For one, we certainly don't want Kamala Harris to be president should an international conflict erupt. But more importantly, Trump is actively trying to stop the conflict from happening, as evidenced by his first term. With the petrodollar deal over with Saudi Arabia and the BRICS nations developing their own currency, we are on the verge of the U.S. dollar losing its status. It's about to lose its reserve status. The U.S. is trying to pump money into other countries to build confidence so they keep using the dollar. They've been doing that for a long time. It's insane, in my opinion. Military might is not going to cut it. And the U.S. does not export enough goods to justify its ability to buy oil on the international market. By controlling the dollar, we literally just export the dollar. But that's over now. Saudi Arabia said enough. The BRICS nations are launching their own currency. That's why I think, should the Democrats retain power, their move is maintain the liberal economic order, declare war, and blow up anybody who dares oppose us. That's what they did with Saddam Hussein. That's what they did with Muammar Gaddafi. Then Donald Trump took power, and they were terrified. He would not play this game. He did not want the war. But it seems like now the war is coming. There are a lot of people internationally who are terrified of a Trump presidency. And I don't mean the bad guys. The people who are scared of Democrats are scared the Democrats are going to bomb everybody. But the scumbags of the world are hoping. Either way, I don't think the Democrats can sustain the system. I don't think it matters. If they create large-scale conflict with NATO and Russia, which we're already basically seeing, then I just see it spiraling into chaos and the U.S. losing in the long run. But internally, to wrap up this segment, amnesty for non-citizens and housing for non-citizens while American citizens suffer is a guaranteed way to lose any international conflict. Unless what they're hoping to do is, once the war breaks out, tell 20 million illegal immigrants, you want to be citizens? Go fight our war for us, and you will be. Maybe that's the play. I'll leave it there. Next segment is coming up the next segment is coming up at 4 p.m. on this channel. Smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, share the show with your friends, become a member at timcast.com if you want to support our efforts, and we will see you all on this channel at 4.